You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the #1 horse podcast in the world. Here's your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
Good morning, everybody. I am Glenn the Geek from Ocala, Florida.
And I am Allison Rehnborg in Nashville, Tennessee, and you are listening to the monthly Equine Affaire episode of Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for August 20th. Wow. Episode 4023. This episode is brought to you by Equine Affaire. Good morning, Horse World.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. As you know, the Equine Affaire episode is here the third Thursday of each month. And I wanted to remind you right at the top of the show that they have their own podcast feed. If you want to listen to the past episodes of this away from Horses in the Morning, you can do that. Just search for Equine Affaire on your podcast player and you will find it. What are we doing today, Allison?
On today's show, we're chatting with a member of the Cutting Edge Cowgirls. This is a new to us drill team and not one that I had really heard of before. We're talking to Marcy Trumble. The Cutting Edge Cowgirls are making their Fantasia debut this fall in West Springfield, so very exciting. And we are excited for the chance to see them strut their stuff in the Fantasia arena. And then we're going to get to chat with the creative genius behind Betsy Dale Hats, Betsy herself.
Did you know, and I don't know if this still exists, we interviewed the guy, must have been 10 years ago, who ran the National Drill Team Championships.
Oh.
They actually had a championships, I think it was in Texas, and you qualified to go to the championships as a drill team, and then they had this competition down there, and then they awarded the national champion drill team. I don't know if
I
that's
bet they still
around.
do.
I don't know.
It's got it. I do occasionally, I wanted to bring this up, occasionally see these awesome videos where someone with a drone has hovered over the arena where drill teams are performing. And they look like little bitty ants, but it is amazing to watch those patterns and see that they really are as smooth and circular or as straight as you imagine that they are. I mean, it's like watching dressage aerially. It's really crazy how good and precise they are.
There's one of those for the Canadian Mounties. And that's just unbelievable because there is not a step out of place with those guys. I mean, they're just so good. I've seen them a couple times and they're just amazing to watch.
You know, someone told me, I think it was back in Ohio, we were talking about speed. I think it was Rosemary Huxted. She was talking to me about how when you watch someone riding fast or you are riding fast, your flaws are not hidden by the speed. They are amplified. And that is 100%. And I think that applies to horsemanship too. If you've got good horsemanship, it looks even better when you go fast. If you got bad horsemanship, it's a train wreck.
Or do it in a large group, right? Where your fault will really stand out.
It'll really stand out. And everyone affects everybody else. And but those drone videos, I will, if one of those comes across my feed, I will just sit there and watch it because it's like therapy. It's like a Zen garden. It's like the horseman's Zen garden to watch a well-done drill performance.
Well, I know we have some things that are coming. Geez, the show is a couple months away, and up there in Massachusetts, it's in November, and that's right around the corner now. So what's going on right now? I assume you're taking applications for various things at this point?
Yes, applications opened in... Gosh, I don't know why. How is it mid-August? But applications opened in late July for Ride with a Pro. So that's our opportunity for people who want to ride in clinics and demos and things like that at the event. So all that information for Ride with a Pro, which is sponsored by Fair Hill Saddlery, all that information is up on our website. So if you want to participate in a clinic and bring your horse and ride and learn on the ground in the saddle, you need to apply by September 11th. And it's really easy. I think the hardest part is getting a video of yourself riding. And, it doesn't have to be a fancy video. Just grab your buddy with a cell phone or use your, what is it, a Pivo?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Use one of those. Just get a video of yourself working with your horse. That's what our clinicians are going to look at to decide, do I want this person? Do I not? And something I think is important, I know myself, I would think, I have to be perfect. to ride in this clinic, right? I have to know all my stuff to ride in a clinic with what? Try to think of who, Pat Pirelli or Connie Combs or someone like that. But no, sometimes they're looking for people who have actual issues, that like a particular issue or a horse with a particular issue. So don't write yourself out until you've looked at the clinic summary, because all of those say, so-and-so is looking for this type of horse or this type of rider. That's important to remember. Give yourself a shot.
Okay.
And you could get some serious help. And then if you want to compete at Equine Affaire, if you're bringing your horse and you want to compete, why not? You need to apply by September 11th for the Breed Bonanza, which is our all breed, all discipline show. And then we also have the Versatile Horse and Rider competition, which is our big, exciting versatility competition. So all of those details are on our website. They're all open now and ready. And you've got about a month from today, maybe 3 weeks from when this airs.
And I know another thing that Equine Affaire would not run without its volunteers. So I assume that it's about time to start volunteering for that too?
Yes. If you want to volunteer, we do have a deadline to apply by, and that's to get your name in the program and to get like first pick of shifts and first pick of duties and things like that. And that is September 25th. If you want to apply in advance and you're a planner and you know where you're going to be in November, then definitely apply by the 25th of September. But if you miss that date, if you're listening to this episode really late and you go, oh, shoot, it's already past September, you can still volunteer. You just have to go, you come to the event, you pay to get in, go to the volunteer office in the Mallory building, and you volunteer. They'll give you a shift. They'll give you stuff to do because trust me, there's plenty to do. And then they'll get you a refund after you do your shift. So it's that easy.
And I assume that you have volunteers that just come back every year. Just year after year. Yeah.
And they're the best. I mean, they work. It's not hard work, but I mean, they're so consistent. They're so reliable. They're so wonderful. We love them. And just a little shout out. I love them. A lot of our volunteers are the ones that I see commenting year after year on our posts. Like I get to know them at the shows and then I see their names on Facebook, and that makes my heart happy because, they really care. And those people are hard to find and they're wonderful. So we love our volunteers. You get free admission. Yes. If you work 8 hours, you get a 4-day pass and a souvenir, but you also get to be part of our quirky family. And that's the best.
Very good. Well, we're going to get to our first guest today right after this word from Endure Gold. This episode is brought to you by Farnham and Endure Gold Killer Fly and Mosquito Control, the new fly spray for horses. Discover fly protection redefined with Endure Gold. Made to annihilate flies, ticks, and mosquitoes with the brand new EPA-approved ingredients never before seen in equine care. Endure Gold is backed by science and built for hard work, delivering a fast knockdown, and we use it here at the farm, and it really does work. Add Endure Gold to your arsenal and upgrade your fly control rotation. That's Endure Gold Killer Fly and Mosquito Control, available at all your local retailers.
Well, as I said earlier, we have a brand new drill team performing in Fantasia this fall. And Fantasia, by the way, is November 12th, 13th, and 14th. We are welcoming the Cutting Edge Cowgirls Precision Drill Team into our Fantasia lineup. They are a dynamic and elite equestrian group known for their high-energy performances. And today we have their performance director, Marcy Trumble, here with us to share all about this drill team. Well, hi, Marcy. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Yes. So I hear you're at the lake, but you're graciously taking a little bit of time to do some work. So
That's
we appreciate
right.
it.
There's always time for some horsing around.
Absolutely. Exactly. Yeah. You should trademark that. So tell us a little bit about you. How did you get into horses? What got you into this life?
Oh, that is I'll give you the short version.
Yes. Give us the in the nutshell.
Something I've always, it's just, in family videos, there I am in the background cantering around. Like I've just always wanted to be with horses and begged my mom to go to summer horse camp and then begged my mom to get into riding lessons. And then all of a sudden you look back and it's been, almost I'll say 30 years of horses, if not a little bit more. So that's just how it's always been for me. I've just been drawn to them my whole life.
You got lucky. You got the parents who would let you.
That's right. Yep.
And then have you always been a drill team girl, or what did you start with? How did you get into drill teams?
So how I got into the drill team actually is I was an avid vaulter, and I did a lot of pony club when I was younger, and I really took to vaulting, the gymnastics on horseback. And just so happened that the location of where I was riding, this young lady from down the road had come to rent the arena, and she wanted to practice her trick riding and happened to see me teaching a vaulting lesson. And she said, well, I'm on this team. It's a drill team. And I had never heard of a drill team. I had ridden in pony club. I had done pas de deux and quadrilles in dressage competitions and things like that. But I had, of course, seen the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. But a precision rodeo style drill team was not on my radar at all, being in the English discipline. I didn't even know that rodeo really existed in where we are in Ontario. So she said, oh, you should come along to one of our practices and see what it's all about. And they had just been gearing up to go to the Calgary Stampede. They had been invited to ride at the Calgary Stampede. So they said, oh, we're going on this big trip. And I was just enamored with this group of girls that was riding in unison and having fun, the camaraderie, the teammanship of it all. And that's kind of the drill bug that bit me, the thrill of drill, as a lot of drill riders say, or we say, we're dreaming of drilling. Once you kind of get going and you get doing it, it's so much fun. It's fun with your horse. If you have a little bit of a performance art side to you, it hits all the boxes, right? So that's how my I think that would have been in 2006 was when I first joined the drill team. And then as time goes on and, you grow up and get a little bit older, we see this pattern where it's time to start a family or to start a career. And then you kind of have to put that on the side. And then, of course, re-enter back into it. So that's kind of where I am now in my drill career, is on my second win, really.
So we cover, matter of fact, as we're recording this, the vaulting's happening at the World Equestrian Games in Aachen. And we covered that during World Equestrian Games in the past. I can see where vaulting would help drill by learning for balance alone.
Absolutely. I think that vaulting, if we're going to go on a side topic.
Yeah, why not?
Every single rider. A lot of my children that I also teach horseback riding lessons recreationally, just a jack of all trades, expert at none. But I find if you start kids off in a vaulting surcingle on a circle and get them comfortable moving around the horse and mounting and dismounting, the rest of their riding career is a breeze. They've got all of that figured out. If you can stand on a horse, certainly you can sit on a horse.
You figured out the hardest part, which is balance, right? I mean,
that's right.
Yeah,
yep.
I can see it. I never thought about it before, but I can definitely see that.
And I think along with the drill team, a little bit of the trick riding, drill is really deeply seated in that rodeo atmosphere and these traditional rodeo dress acts, as they like to call them, right? So you get some Roman riders, trick ropers, trick riders, and of course, flag riders. And so that's kind of where we are in Ontario. It's not the Midwest, or it's not Oklahoma or Texas. We have a few little rodeo circuits, and it's really nice to keep those traditional forms of entertainment alive in the rodeo arena.
Okay, I've hijacked this interview now. Sorry, Allison. I know we're going to talk about you guys coming to Equine Affaire, but I got to ask you. I mean, you mentioned Calgary Stampede, which has been on my bucket list forever. What's the coolest place you've ever performed? That just stands out in your head, that was cool.
Aside from Equine Affairs.
Yeah, we're going to take those out right now.
The Tournament of Roses parade in
Pasadena,
California.
There you go. I mean, you can't get much better than that. So.
The granddaddy of them all.
Yeah.
Yep. And that was a fantastic experience. Even just hauling horses from where we are. I'm located about an hour from the Detroit border.
Oh, that's a long drive.
It was 4 days, and it's right over the Christmas holidays. So you're having, Christmas dinner from the only thing that's open is a convenience store by the time we made it to Burbank. And our horses stayed at the LA Equestrian Center. I rode my horse up to look at the Hollywood sign.
Ooh.
I mean, my horse and I have shared a lot of cool things.
They don't realize what that day is like. We spent years, for every year we would cover that. We'd have them on, the organizers on, and we'd talk to the contestants or the riders. But you get there at this ungodly hour. And then the hardest part is just standing around with your horse waiting, right? I mean,
it's funny that you bring that up. One of my favorite, almost one of these slow motion memories. It's 4 a.m. and they blow this big air horn for everybody to wake up and get ready. You're parked on the side of the highway in California. It's like 6 lanes and it's closed off, but it opens right back up at 6 a.m. Oh, so they blow this air horn and all of these riders clamor out of their trailers and start saddling their horses. But we're beautiful. We're glamorous. So we all have curlers in our hair. Oh, no. And the countdown, they walk up and down. It is so well organized that they have marshals and they're like 5 minutes and the highway opens up and they're tapping their watch. So my friend is pulling the curlers out of my hair like a wild animal. She's pulling these curlers out and I'm saying to her, just rip them at this point. And she's setting them on the median of the highway. She's just setting my curlers down. And then they're like, 1 minute, saddle up. And I remember looking over my shoulder, swinging my leg over my horse, looking over my shoulder, and they opened up the highway and a car went by and all my curlers just blew across the highway. And I thought, man, there's a memory I'll never forget. Was like in the nick of time, I got my hair out. So yes, that was a very cool and exhausting experience. There are people along the parade route and they'll hold up signs that'll say like, only 7 miles, only 4 more miles, the countdown. So it's very cool.
Do they intentionally put the obnoxious float or band right behind the horses on purpose? Just
always. They feed them in, right? It's a marching band and then a float and then a mounted unit and then a marching band. And they stage them all on different roads so that everybody comes in seamlessly timed. And when you turn around that corner onto Colorado Boulevard, there's grandstands and there's helicopters, and it's just amazing. It's surreal, a surreal experience.
Because, flags in the band behind, throwing those flags around that's no problem at all.
With drill horses are, if you wanted your horse to become a great citizen, put them in a drill. Put them in precision drill riding, even just the rodeo atmosphere behind the bucking chutes and lining your horses up in those alleys while they're loading bulls and they're loading broncs and there's cowboys climbing up over the panels and everything's going on all at once. It really does create a good, quiet horse and mileage, right?
I wanted to ask you, too, because we've talked about this before on the show, that actually in those situations, there's so much coming at the horses that we've had a lot of trainers tell us that's actually less scary for the horse because they're absorbing everything's coming at them than if it's absolutely quiet and then a gun goes off, right?
Yes.
That's a worse situation than they're getting everything at once, so they're not reacting to anything, really.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you just need a few veterans in order to bring a youngster along. Something I really like to do, and I've done in the past events and demonstrations, is by a round of applause, I'll have the crowd clap for who they think is the newest horse and rider pair. So I'll go down the line by a round of applause. Do you think that this is a newer rider? And it's often really hard for the crowd to tell who is the newest teammate and horse on the, in the demonstration, because 1 or 2 really great horses kind of brings along the rest of them and they all learn that behavior and that, oh, my friend to the left is okay. My friend to the right is okay. I'm okay here too. So they work out great that way.
Allison, I'm done hijacking you. Tell yours.
You're fine.
Allison's turn.
It's a joint interview. No, this is fascinating. Well, so what kinds of horses, I was going to ask, do you prefer particular breeds or is it more about the temperament of the individual horse? What makes a good drill horse for you?
That's a very good question. a bulletproof one.
As we just vividly described.
A bulletproof horse. Yes, we are not picky regarding breed. It just so happens, and I mean, you'll hear this all the time, nothing beats a good old quarter horse or a good old paint horse. And the reason being that they are bred, their mind is there, the speed, the endurance, the athleticism is there. We do have some Dutch warm blood on our team. We have thoroughbred, we have appendix, quarter horses. The majority of our team right now, though, is quarter horses, and a ton of them are red. So we always make a joke. We need more color in here. Somebody buy a buckskin, or somebody buy something of a different color, because we've got one roan or two roans, and then chestnut, 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 bay. And then Jacqueline's two horses are white, and I have a black and white paint horse. So we add the color, but
yeah, you've got some color in there.
But there is no criticism when it comes to the horses on the team. They need to be fit. They need to be able to rate themselves, whether they need to be able to move forward and come back to you. And the most common rule that any drill team, I believe, would follow is no behaviors, no kicking out, no biting, no rearing, no bucking, no bolting. So we are very forgiving when we're bringing new horses on the team. You're asking a lot of these horses. Most of the time people are riding in an individual discipline. It's not very often that you say, okay, we're going to sandwich you all side by side, and we're all going to move forward together while we're turning and while we're doing this and while we're doing that, and everybody's going to get along. So we often give space for our newer members when we get into those tight maneuvers, like a pinwheel or a suicide crack, that we give the youngsters or the new horses some room to make them feel confident and comfortable. And usually, if you approach that correctly, they will just flourish and realize that what they're doing. And all of a sudden, your horse completely knows the drill. They know the music. They know what's going on, right? Until you have to kind of tell them, like, well, I'm still in charge here. I'm still the leader. But yeah,
that's what you think, but really.
Yeah. So a funny story about Equine Affaire. I'm just going to add in, this is really special to me. My horse and I have done several equine affairs in the past on a previous drill team, and a lot of spotlight, got to do the anthem, all of those things. And he absolutely loves Equine Affaire. And when I retired him the first time from drill, I knew that it would, he loves drill. So when this team started up again, it was started up by a student of mine who had joined the drill team long after I had retired from it. And so we never got to drill together. And she kept saying, can you just come to a practice, when she started the Cutting Edge Cowgirls? And I said, well, you get it going, my dear. And if you get it going and handle all the hard stuff, maybe I'll show up. So
wisdom.
And yes, and she's young, in her 20s. And, she had moved to a new place, and she wanted to make more friends. And what better way to make horse friends than start a drill team? So she started this team in April of 2023. And in June, they had their first rodeo performance with Rawhide Rodeo Production Company.
Wow.
So April, May, June to pull
That's
it together.
fast.
And I went, uh-oh, shoot, she's doing it. She's doing it. Here we go. So finally, she did the whole rodeo season, kept bugging me. Finally, in September, I said, okay, I'll come to one practice. And I rolled up in my trailer, and I'm looking in my side mirror, and I can see she blows the whistle. They were doing a walkthrough. She blows the whistle, and my trailer jumps up and down. And I go, oh man, Amigo's in for it. Amigo knows what we're doing. And he hadn't drilled in about 5 years. He hadn't heard a whistle blow. He'd only done dressage, which he gets high scores, but does not enjoy. So my horse has not been to an equine affair since 2016. But anytime he hears the song, I Love Rock and Roll, my horse's heart, I can feel it pounding underneath my saddle. Like he knows that song is 3 minutes to showtime. I love rock and roll. And so when we got the invite to come to Equine Affaire 2026, it's been 10 years since Amigo's been to an Equine Affair. Amigo is 28 years old.
Wow.
And he's still rodeoing every weekend. And I said that Jacqueline asked me, well, how long do you think you'd like to be on our team? And I said, until he runs out of gas. I'm only here for him. I don't even like it. Wink, wink. So I keep saying to the girls, I'm only here because my horse loves it so much and he's still got a full tank of gas. And once he's out of gas, then maybe I won't drill anymore, which I've already bought a replacement horse and I'm riding on borrowed time on my 28-year-old. But that is my little tidbit of like, I am elated to bring Amigo to one more Equine Affair and that he gets the chance to hit that big arena and that big atmosphere. And he gets to hear I Love Rock and Roll for the 3-minute countdown. So it's pretty special for us. Very special.
That's very special. I love that. Thank you for sharing that because I've been working Equine Affair now since, I guess my first visit was 2018. Then I came on this staff in 22. And the music has been the same ever since. Yeah. And I've wondered, like, is it always been this? And you have just confirmed for me that, yes, that is always the 3-minute song. And so I'm pretty sure the rest are also. And
it's, if you don't know production, like it's something about that it gives you, like I have goosebumps just talking about it right now, of riding your horse out into the spotlight. And I remember one Equine Affair in Massachusetts, I think it was the last one. The anthem singer said, just do me a favor and don't look into my eyes while I'm singing. And I remember the spotlight being on both of us and me carrying the beautiful American flag and me looking everywhere but at the singer because I didn't want to, make her feel uncomfortable. But the other thing I will say about the crowds at the Fantasia is it's really great to see the patriotism for the flag. We're flag riders. We love carrying any flag. And of course, in Canada, we do our national anthem and everything like that. But it's not the same energy as in an enclosed space with a pumped up crowd that really loves their flag. So it really is a great feeling as a flag rider to be able to do that. That's just my side note on that too.
That's very...
I've hijacked your interview.
No, this is what an interview is. I don't think you guys know what an interview is. Well, so we've got to wrap now, but I did want to ask Marcy, I guess you've already told us what you're excited about. You're just excited to come back.
That's right.
I'm so glad that the Cutting Edge Cowgirls are going to make it'll be the team's debut, even though it's not your first time, right?
Correct.
So that's incredible. Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'm so excited to share an Equine Affair with the majority of our team has never attended an Equine Affair, let alone rode in one. And it is such a young team and they are so full of zest and so full of life and they just bring so much joy to the arena. So we are so looking forward to kicking up some dirt when we make it there to Massachusetts.
Well, tell them to bring some dollars because they'll be buying stuff. It's Christmas.
I told them that too. I said, first shopping.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
For sure.
Well, I know tickets are available now, right, for Massachusetts? And by the way, those dates for everybody are November 12th to the 15th.
Correct. On November 12th through the 15th at the good old Eastern States Exposition in West Springfield. We've got tickets available now, both your general admission, you can do single day, you can do 4-day pass. Those are on sale at our website, equineaffair.com. And remember, we have a new ticketing partner, well, a new old one. Our oldies who have been listening for a while will remember Tix. Well, we are back to Tix. So Tix is your ticketing partner now, and they have a great system. It's so easy. It's so intuitive. Get your single day or 4-day passes. You can also buy your tickets to Fantasia. That's the most important part for a lot of people because those seats do go fast. Those are assigned seats. If you have a particular section or a place that you like to sit, you better go buy those tickets because those are going quickly.
Very good. Who's coming up next?
If you visited Equine Affair in Ohio, you might have seen our next guest's incredible booth display. And if not, you really missed out. It's incredible. It was one of my favorites at the show, and they even made the best booth finalist list. So Betsy is the creative genius behind Betsy Dale Hats, which is a fun and fabulous vendor who creates these incredible burned and custom decorated hats. Well, hi, Betsy. Welcome to our show.
Hi, how are you?
We are doing great. So Glenn's having power issues down in Florida, but how are things up in your neck of the woods?
They are a little rainy and windy, but we are surviving.
Are you in West Virginia, or where are you?
Yeah, we're located in the northern panhandle of West Virginia.
Awesome. And have you been there all your life?
Yes, pretty much my whole life.
Cool. It's a good middle place to be. You can go north easy, you can go south easy. It works out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So you are kind of a unique guest for us. I don't think we've ever had a hat artisan or a hat designer on the Equine Affaire part of the show anyway. And so kind of tell us, how did you get into designing hats?
So it's kind of a funny story. I actually went on my first trip to Montana, and the goal was kind of to take my mother on her bucket list trip at 73 years old. So her and I decided at the very last minute to book a flight, spend 8 days driving through Yellowstone, Sheridan, Wyoming, through Montana, and we've got to see lots of places and sites. And through our travels, we came across this hat shop that I just absolutely fell in love with. And I've loved hats my entire life, and actually wanted to start designing Kentucky Derby hats probably about 10 years ago. And life happens, and you end up kind of putting things on the back burner. And so when we went on this trip to Montana, it kind of continued, I guess I'll say. And so we went in this hat store, and I loved everything about it, how they designed them, the accessories, the style, but at the time, it wasn't something that was in my budget to afford. They were a bit pricey. So I decided that I've always had a fair amount of artistic ability, and I decided that I would come home and I would make my own hat. And so I did. And I received tons of compliments, and people wanted to know where I got my hat, and they were interested in buying them. So I decided to make the first 10 or 12 hats that I did. And I took them to a local boutique to see if they'd be interested in showcasing some of the hats in their storefront. And they willingly agreed. And so I showcased them, and we got a lot of good feedback. But as you know, an entrepreneurial venture, you never know what's going to happen. And they ended up putting us in they asked me to do a fashion show. And I really had never done anything like that before. So I was kind of going into it blind. And I said, sure, yeah, let's do it. And so the lady in charge of it told me to bring up 6 or 7 hats, whatever I wanted to choose. And we would find some coordinating outfits to go with it. And it just basically took off after that. Everyone loved them and were just in awe about the hats. So as things progressed, I started wanting to get more creative with the hats, and I started writing on them a little bit and drawing some stuff. And my first hat that I did, I drew a scene from the movie Jeremiah Johnson.
I've seen this hat.
Yeah, and I did the portraits of Robert Redford and Bear Claw and some different characters, and it turned out pretty good because I really didn't know that I could draw that well. I mean, I've always been kind of crafty. But anyway, as things progressed, people really liked it because it was just really different, and it wasn't something, they were all one of a kind. So not something you could just buy anywhere. So I started doing more and more. I do a lot of styles of hats, but the ones that I draw on, they immediately sell. I can't hardly. Go ahead.
Are you painting or using a wood leather burner? How are you drawing?
So I use a wood burner, and I do a lot of the drawing with that. It's kind of just like tattooing a hat, more or less. And I do it all freehand. I don't use stencils. I kind of just find a picture that I want to draw, and then I draw it. And then I just kind of add things to it as I go and kind of make up my own scene. I've done some wildlife scenes and things like that. This past weekend, I was actually at a big gun bash event, and they have anywhere from 10 to 20,000 people attend. And I did some hats that were more geared towards outdoor hunting, wildlife, outdoorsman type stuff. And I drew some hats that had some elk and whitetail buck and different things like that, some fishermen. And I sold them a couple hours after I made them. I mean, wow. It didn't take long.
Yeah.
And I sold out of everything I had. So it was a really great event. People were just amazed because they've never seen anything like that, and they're all, I don't do any two the same. So once I do one, that's it. I might do some that have some similarities, but nothing is identical. And people seem to really like that they know that the hat they have is the only one that's going to be out there that's just like that.
Abby.
Yeah.
One of a kind. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I got started. And I ended up starting a mobile boutique probably 6 months after I put the hats in the boutique. I bought a mobile trailer, and I created a trailer I wanted to kind of bring Montana back to the East Coast, because where I'm from, there's not a lot of Western stores or Western attire. Even though there's a lot of people here that like it, there's just not a lot of availability. So I decided to design this Old West trailer, and it just looks like an old barn inside. And we have hats showcased and some accessories and other Western attire. And that's actually what I'm going to be bringing to Equine Affaire.
Yes.
So it's pretty cool. Everyone that comes in really likes it, and they go on like, wow, this is like the coolest thing we've ever seen. So I started that, and it's done so well. I've actually finally opened up a little boutique at my farm, and it kind of started out as, well, I need somewhere to put my overflow, my fixtures, my extra things that I buy to go to events. And I ran out of room, so I just started building, and we've kind of grown into a little storefront now at our horse farm, and here we are. Yeah.
You have something for everybody. Like in Ohio, it was cowboy and cowgirl hats of all different colors, all different styles, all different accessories. You had ones that were burned. You had ones that weren't burned. You had feathers. You had leather. I mean, it was just everywhere I looked in there, I felt like, man, there really is a hat for just about anyone who can afford one.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to make a variety, different styles, I do what I like, but at the same time, I try to make things that there is something for everybody, at least I hope. Now, I do have limited space in the trailer, so I can only have so many with me. But the good thing is I can design a custom one right there for somebody if they want. If they see something they like, but it's not quite what they're thinking, I can always kind of do up another one and incorporate something into it that they prefer. I'm actually really looking forward to coming to Massachusetts and meeting a different crowd and people and customers and seeing how they enjoy our trailer and the hats we have to offer.
So I know that our guests coming to Massachusetts are going to stop by your incredible booth. They're going to see it and just be like, wow, I have to see that. How can people learn more about you online? Do you have a website?
Yes, I do have a website. It's betsydalehats.com. I'm on Facebook. I post a lot of my hats on Facebook, some of the new works of art that I do, just so kind of everyone can see it quickly. If you see something on there you like, you're always welcome to message me. And then I also have a social media TikTok account. So people can follow Betsy Dale Hats on there and see some of the places and events we go to. I also have a calendar of events on our website. So if people want to know where we're going to be, where they could maybe run into us next time, they can do that as well.
Perfect.
And of course, we have our shop that's by appointment. So you could always make an appointment and take a little drive to beautiful scenic West Virginia and see us.
And I bet it's an incredible store. So that's going to be a beautiful place. All right. Well, thank you so much, Betsy. I can't wait to see you and all your hats and your incredible crew in Massachusetts this fall.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate the interview, and it was a pleasure talking to all of you.
So we have, as we mentioned earlier in the show, we have November 12th to the 15th at West Springfield, Massachusetts. Get your tickets today. I noticed that the dates have also been published for Columbus, Ohio. That's April 8th through the 11th in Columbus. And I assume that it's even going to be better this year because they must be getting some construction done. So, even better than last year. So I assume
100%. In fact, I just want to pop in. Some of our staff went to the Ohio State Fair because those girls live in Ohio. So that's their state fair, which is over at the Expo Center. And they said it's gorgeous.
Oh, good.
All the construction is done. It's fabulous. Wow. They have an incredible new carousel that's really beautiful with all these animals on it, just all kinds of cool stuff. So we are very excited about Columbus 2027. It's going to be worth it. All the suffering we've been through the last couple of years, it's worth it.
It's staff.
Especially the staff with our gas leak earlier this year. And we also have a lot of incredible new features planned for Ohio that are going to blow your minds. So we will start getting into those once November is over. So keep listening.
Brand new, like a brand new toy.
It's going to feel like that. Feels like that to me. So.
It's like Christmas in April.
Yes.
Well, you can learn more about Equine Affaire at the website, equineaffaire.com, on the Facebook page or the YouTube channel. And don't forget, they do have a separate podcast feed. Just search for Equine Affaire on your podcast player, or you can continue listening to it in Horses in the Morning. That's completely up to you. You can follow Horses in the Morning. You can follow us on Facebook. Just search for Horses in the Morning. And we'll be back here tomorrow with another brand new episode for you. So we'll look forward to seeing you then. Thanks, Allison.
Thank you. And we will see everybody at Equine Affaire.